reality TV's Omarosa on life after The Apprentice, how making love can fight a headache, and a look at the new high-tech PJs for kids.
Welcome to Life Love Shopping. I'm Rachel Kay.
And I'm Michelle Yarn. Ladies and gentlemen, in fact, we know how many diet plans are out there and books and advice. We're cutting through it all to tell you about the one-day diet, so it's changes you can make in one day to really set yourself up for a healthy eating lifestyle.
It's not as complicated as you may think, right? And then you know how there's so many digital movies services out there, so many streaming sites. Well, we're going to weigh the pros and the cons of each to help you choose which one's best for you.
Sounds good. All right, you've heard the saying, do not judge a book by its cover. Well, we are going to do it anyway because researchers have discovered that everything from your hair color to your strut can reveal a lot about you. Here's the rundown from Cosmo magazine. For instance, your clothes broadcast your mood. Have you ever noticed how a case of the blues has you reaching for your sweatpants? Well, science says there is such a thing as happy clothes. So glam up the next time you feel down. You may even fool yourself into being happier. Your walk actually exposes your sex life. 81% of the time, Belgian researchers were able to pick the ladies with more active sex lives solely based on the way that they walked. Here's what they came up with. Energetic and effortless equals satisfied in the sack. Your shoes highlight your personality. No duh on this one. Some studies suggest people can actually deduce about 90% of your personality just by looking at your heels. This is what they found. Agreeable girls tend to go for practical shoes. Funky ankle boots are for the more aggressive types. And what about a voice? Well, a man's voice conveys his testosterone levels. Women find guys with deep voices more memorable than those with a higher pitch. We can't help it. It's an evolution thing, okay? Yeah. We equate a deeper voice with higher testosterone levels, which means me man, me more manly.
Me
you know.
man, me make money, me take care
me
of
protect
wife.
you, yeah. That's the way it is, sorry.
It's true. You may think you know everything about sex as well, but there are some facts you don't know about. Here are the surprising stats from Women's Day. The more a woman wants to get busy between the sheets, the higher her standards rise. According to research, as a lady's longing for a one-night stand heightens, she begins to seek out only the most physically attractive men. For guys, it doesn't matter what the woman looks like. If they want it, their standards don't change.
Of course.
So keep that in mind, ladies. Another fact is husbands who do more housework have less sex. But we're specifically talking about men who do chores that are traditionally delegated to women, like the laundry or ironing. Women don't necessarily think that's sexy. Men who do things like fix a broken pipe is more arousing. Like we were just talking about, the deep voice, the manly things. And then have a bad headache, skip the ibuprofen and hop into the sack. When you have sex, pain-killing endorphins are released and help ease the pain.
I mean, did we have to just tell all the men out there that? Because now when a lady tries to say she has a headache, he's going to be like, well, I have just the cure, baby. And now we've got nothing to fall back on.
Yeah, we're going to have to come up with something else. We'll think about that and get back to you.
On to parenting. A lot of times we hear it's so much easier raising boys than girls, less to worry about. Well, HuffPost blogger Kim Simon says it's actually just the opposite.
Right, especially when it comes to sexism and violence. Yes, parents may worry about a daughter being a victim, but what about teaching your son not to equate power and violence as a measure of manhood?
It's a tough one. Now, she does have some recommendations for ways parents can get started. First, she says we have to teach our boys to be kind and express empathy. She says kids as young as preschool age should start learning to share their toys with a new kid in class or even acknowledge another child's boo-boo. Next, she says parents need to teach their sons about the importance of bravery and what being brave really means, even just bravery to go against the popular ways of the world.
And when they're a little older, there's always the tough conversations with your sons about sex. Not only the standard use protection, but understanding concepts like mutual consent. And her fourth and final piece of advice is making sure boys have a reliable support system, primarily their parents. I think that last one is super important. Yeah. Having a good example, fathers setting a good example for their sons and treating their wives well shows their son how to treat women.
To see how to treat a lady. And another thing, I think a lot of dads tend to think if they have a son, they can't be as physical, like hugging your child or, you know, giving him a kiss. And you're just showing your son what love is from a parent in general. So I think that's a good thing to keep in mind as well.
It is. Kids also, of course, love a good bedtime story. Now they'll love it even more when they pick a story from their PJs. That's right. Pajamas are now high-tech. Check out the singing and storytelling smart PJs. The polka dots are not just for design, they're also QR codes. Load up the free smartphone app on your tablet or phone, scan the dots, Hit save, and your smartphone will then read the book, sing the lullaby, or give you fun facts about animals depending on the code. There are a total of 50 different codes that work on Apple and Android smart products. Parents probably already knew this, but the PJs were invented, of course, by a father with 6 kids. So what a fun and technologically advanced way to tell the story of Humpty Dumpty.
Omarosa, you know her by one name and one show, The Apprentice. But what is she doing now? Well, you can find out on the new season of Oprah, Where Are They Now? And here to talk about where she's been is Omarosa herself. Welcome.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm in New York, and I love life. I love love, and I love shopping.
You love shopping. Perfect. Well, listen, everybody loved to hate you when you were on The Apprentice the first time, but almost 10 years later, you returned to the all-star season of the show. Why come back, and how is it now?
You know, I came back for one reason and one reason only, and that was to play for the Sue Duncan Children's Center on the south side of Chicago. It's an amazing after-school program. The children are so smart and bright, and so I wanted to go back and battle in the boardroom for a worthy cause.
That's great. And, you know, you do deal with a lot of strong personalities. You even have a book. It's called The Bitch Switch, Knowing How to Turn It Off. When is the most important time to turn it off? And how can women especially know when it's time to turn it up, turn it off, turn it down? I mean, how do you balance that?
Well, you can get my book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, on your iPhone, but the tips to the book is knowing what your inner strength is. One, not allowing people to walk all over you or push you around, speaking up for yourself, and negotiating your own happiness. So many women allow people to define who they are and what they stand for. You have to do that for yourself, and I teach women how to do that in my book.
And you have dealt with that, and you've had to defend yourself so many times. I think people try to label you one way. I mean, how are you dealing with that now? Or you get tired of constantly having to do that?
You know, I've been on The Apprentice. I started about a decade ago, so I've been with this Apprentice family for 10 years, and I know the inside and out of boardroom battles. People get very personal, they take things very sensitive. My rule is to leave it in the boardroom. You can't really worry about what people think about you. If you do, you become enslaved to their opinions. I could care less what people think. You know, I started in the Baptist church when I was 5 years old, and I was first baptized at my grandmother's church. And so I've been a part of the church for my entire life. I accepted this leadership position once I accepted my call to ministry. I went to seminary, I became ordained, and now I serve as the assistant pastor at Weller Street Missionary Baptist Church in Los Angeles.
And I'd love to get some advice from you for people out there who may have lost someone in their life. I mean, you've had what some would consider several tragic losses in your life, your father and brother, and then more recently your fiance. I mean, how have you dealt with that? And do you have advice for anyone who may have lost a loved one as well?
You know, I don't know that I'm the greatest one at giving advice for grieving because I'm only, I've been 6 months since Michael has passed away, and so I'm dealing with his loss in my own personal way, and I think that you have to find a way to kind of make it through every single day. For me, it is my faith. I truly would not have been able to even just get out of the bed after Michael died if it was not for my relationship with God. So people have to find a way and find a source for their strength to carry on even after they've loved someone very, very close to them.
Just find what works for you.
Absolutely.
And finally, would you say there are a lot of misconceptions about you? I mean, what do you think is the biggest one people have?
There are a lot of misconceptions, and that's why I decided to do the Oprah Winfrey Network show, Where Are They Now? Because it gives you an opportunity to see my growth over the last 10 years. You get to come to my home, you get to see my church, you get to see what I do on a day-to-day basis. And I talk very candidly about my own personal development, some of my pitfalls, some of my strengths, some of the great things that I've accomplished. But you get to see that all on April the 2nd at 10 o'clock on the OWN network.
And thank you for sharing a little bit of that with us. And like she said, you can catch Omarosa on Oprah, Where Are They Now? On OWN.
Thanks, Michelle. Whether you're heading out this spring or just enjoying a break at home, Gal Time's Jennifer Jolly is showing us some of the hottest new tech gadgets that will make the season blossom.
What's really hot right now are these Intel-inspired Ultrabook convertibles. This is the Lenovo IdeaPad Yoga. It starts around $1,000. It's a full powerhouse PC that goes from laptop to tablet by flipping, folding, or just twisting the screen. It weighs just over 3 pounds and the battery life lasts for up to 8 hours. Another super flexible gadget is this iHome IDL45. Why not spring forward with a clock dock that charges and plays all of your old and new devices? This starts around $100. It has this lightning connector as well as a USB. And what really sets this iHome clock apart is the sound quality. Now, spring cleaning. We all hate to do it, but it has to be done, so why not just set it and forget it with the iRobot Luge 330 gutter cleaning robot. All you do is climb up a ladder, place the robot in your gutter, and then you can use the wireless remote to drive the little robot while the auger spins at some 500 rotations per minute, kicking out all of the debris. And this little guy cleans 30 feet of gutter in just 5 minutes. You know what that means? A whole lot more time for fun. And what better fun than capturing all of the action on Sony's new Action Cam. You know, POV cameras are all the rage, and the Action Cam is the perfect name for the incredibly small, lightweight video camera that will mount, well, pretty much anywhere. You've got a Wi-Fi remote that you can actually frame, shoot, and watch right from any smartphone or tablet in real time. Now, some of the action I know you don't want to miss this spring is baseball and spring training. Check out PlayStation's MLB 13 The Show. It's the most realistic baseball game I have ever seen. And what's really cool, you can play other people on the go through crossplay with your PS Vita in Home Run Derby mode. Now, perhaps the most important spring gadget of them all is a universal battery charger. This is Motorola's P4000 Universal Portable Power Pack. Starts around $70. It is the must-have gadget for anyone who's planning on living life on the go this spring, this summer, really anytime. It's a great way to keep all of your gadgets charged. It's compatible with all phones by all manufacturers. In as little as 15 minutes, you can give your smartphone an additional 2.5 hours of talk time. You should never be caught again with your battery down. For more information on all of these gadgets, you can go to my website, jenniferjolly.com, or to technow@usatoday.com. Back to you.
I'm telling you, Jennifer Jolly knows her tech stuff.
Yes,
so
she
if
does.
she recommends it, you probably want to get it.
Yes, she tries that stuff out for real.
Yeah, she does. All right, well, there's still more to come on Life Love Shopping. We will tell you how to lose weight with a simple one-day diet.
Yes, that's right. Plus, the best solutions to kick those pesky allergy symptoms to the curb. That's coming up next.
And we are sharing the top-ranked hotels for kids with you throughout the show. That is beautiful.
Yes, gorge.
Oh my goodness. Welcome back to Life Love Shopping.
Diet books, they're a dime a dozen. So why not lose a few pounds with the one-day diet?
Yep, you heard her right. She said one day. U.S. News and World Report explains how to get on track toward eating healthy with these daily tips. First off, write it down. Be accountable. Record everything you eat and drink for the day. This really forces you to be more aware of what and how much you're eating. And be a morning eater. Instead of skipping breakfast, eat something soon right after you wake up to end that overnight fast so you don't wake up starving. Eat a rainbow, not Skittles, okay?
No.
Eat a rainbow by challenging yourself to eat every color of the rainbow each day. That includes raw fruits, salads, cooked veggies, soups, stews, grains, and bean dishes.
And have a little less. Try taking smaller portions of food when you serve yourself at home or use a smaller plate. And when dining out, skip that appetizer or eat half of your plate. Usually the serving sizes are really big. Same goes for your takeout. Fill the gap. Too much time between meals can leave you practically starving, which leaves you reaching for unhealthy meal choices. So keep a nutrient-packed snack handy at all times.
I like
almonds
that.
are always a good option.
Yeah, and then you've pre-planned too, so you know what you're about to grab and munch on.
And
Well,
not the actual Skittles.
Yeah, no Skittles. Well, it's springtime, but that also means allergy time, and Andrea Jackson is here with the best ways to keep those sneezy symptoms at bay.
More than 40 million people suffer from allergies, so we've called in our home and lifestyle expert, Laura Dellutri, to help you suffer less this spring. Laura, help us out.
Oh, I'm glad to. And allergies, if you suffer from them, you know the allergy symptoms are a big deal. In fact, a recent survey by the makers of Zyrtec found 75% of women with allergies would rather give up something like texting or their favorite food if it meant avoiding allergies. I mean, that's like giving up chocolate or something,
No
but
kidding.
it's allergies. They drive you crazy.
So what do you suggest?
Well, to feel better during allergy season, the first thing I always recommend is to take the Zyrtec. Okay, which provides 24-hour relief from your worst allergy symptoms, and Zyrtec starts working hour 1 on the first day you take it, so you can get back to doing the things that you love.
Now, here's a question for you. How do you know that it's allergies and not a cold?
Good question. If you have to, you're just going to have to take a test. And now the good news is you can do it yourself with My Allergy Test. It's the first and only at-home allergy test cleared by the FDA, and it will help you find out if you're allergic to 10 of the most common allergens, including eggs, wheat, and even cats.
So how does it work?
Well, you mail in your test in about a week, and you get a confidential allergy report identifying your allergies as well as your personalized allergy plan to help you manage them. And it's also available at Walgreens and Walmart for $49.95.
Okay, so now how can we keep our home free of allergens?
Ah, this is good. I like the Germ Guardian tabletop air cleaning system. It captures allergens and kills airborne germs and odors by using a HEPA filter to capture 99% of airborne particles, while killing the germs and removing the odors. Some doctors suggest HEPA filtration to avoid exposure to indoor allergens, and the Germ Guardian even captures mold spores, dust, and odors. So you can find out more at germguardian.com.
All right, Laura, thank you. I think I got the allergies covered.
I think I'm taking the Zyrtec.
There you go, there you go. For more information, all you need to do, head to our website.
Thanks, ladies. There's still more to come on Life Love Shopping. We're going to break down the pros and cons of the top digital online streaming movie services.
And it is tough growing up in the spotlight. We are revealing the childhood stars who've come out of it all on top.
Welcome back to Life Love Shopping.
All right, this is obvious. It does not necessarily take a whole lot of effort to get your guy going, but Redbook magazine went straight to the source to spill the things you do that drive him wild without even knowing it. For instance, when you showcase your talents and passions. 27-year-old Oliver told the magazine, quote, "It's the sexiest thing to watch my wife, who's an artist, work on a drawing. Watching her work so intensely at something she's amazing at really gets me going. And you need to laugh a little, ladies, because guys love it when you show off your sense of humor. John said, quote, "A funny woman is a sexy woman." And ladies, let him do him, okay? 40-year-old Matt told Redbook, quote, "I love the way my wife still loves and encourages my interests, even though she may not understand them. It's sexy because it shows the maturity and support in our relationship."
The days of running to the video store are no longer an option. Now we are overrun with digital streaming services. If you haven't tried it yet, here's a quick crash course for you. Netflix, you've heard of this probably. The pros, a huge collection of films, reportedly 60,000 available for streaming, especially strong, of course, in the family space of movies to choose from. The cons, its selection can be a mixed bag if you have to sift through lots of C-grade films to find the most recent gems. The cost, though, $7.99 a month, pretty cheap. Amazon, the pros, convenient in terms of one-stop shopping. Television content that Netflix lacks is available there. The cons can be expensive with lots of overlap with Netflix offerings without all the exciting original programming. The cost, Amazon Prime subscription $79 a year, or a la carte streaming $3 and up. Hulu Plus, the pros, there's lots of major TV shows and they have a growing film collection. The cons, the rest of Hulu's movie offerings are lagging behind. Both Amazon and Netflix spend more on content and it shows. The cost, though, $7.99 a month.
You could probably do all of those and it would still be cheaper than the premium channels package.
Oh, most definitely.
So can't lose with that. Well, we all have our favorite child stars that we grew up watching, right?
Yes, and some of them made it as adult actors and others not so much. Morgan Miller is here to break it down. Hey, Morgan.
Hey, ladies, yeah, it's not easy to make it in Hollywood, especially when you start as a child. See Lindsay Lohan and Macaulay Culkin. But these big names, they started strong and they're going stronger. Talking about Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen first. These two have been big banking since they were bite-sized. They started sharing the role of Michelle Tanner on Full House and then producing their own movies. Now they've both traded in their acting hats to focus on their money-making empire. And you may know this guy, actor and singer Jeff Bridges, got an early start also in his father's film called The Company She Keeps. Since then, his 63-year career has landed him 6 Oscar nominations, 1 Oscar, and not to mention a stellar singing career too. Now, this lady we all know for her acting achievements in her adult career, but Jodie Foster got her start as the Coppertone Kid at 4 years old. She was nominated for an Oscar by 14, won an Oscar at age 29, and this year she was handed the Golden Globe Cecil B. DeMille Award. Talk about a long career. Now, this guy, I just can't get enough of. Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio. Yes, he started out on the TV series The New Lassie, and even though he doesn't have an Oscar under his belt just yet, he's landed roles in some of Hollywood's biggest films like Titanic and Django Unchained, and even now the film The Great Gatsby that's coming out. I can't wait to see that.
And even the Johnny Depp there too.
Yeah.
Child star, teen star, right?
But you left Amanda Bynes off your list.
Yeah, what's up with
Because
that?
she's a hotmess.com / don't click it. She's horrible.
And who? Anybody
I
you
liked
like?
Kirk Cameron, but he's a little off his
Cuckoo
rocker
Patrol
now. You know,
now,
what are you gonna
yeah.
do? What about you?
Dakota Fanning, she's done good, right?
She did do
She
good.
had this period though where I feel like she was 12 for like 10 years. I'm like, is she ever gonna grow up? And then all of a sudden she did so. And her sister too. She's
like Taylor Swift.
Fingers crossed for them. They're still a little young. Here at Life Love Shopping, we want to connect with you when we're not on TV. You can stay in touch by liking our Facebook page and follow and tweet us on Twitter at Life Love Shop.